Sadly, like always, no breakfast today, guys, that I ate today. And when I woke up early, I woke up at a time where it was just enough time for me to wake up, go shower, and get straight to school. And right on time. Although my mom delayed a little bit, moving her car, I got to school at around 9:16 a.m. And even though my teacher for English was still getting done with the meeting, I was worried that I would not finish the assignment. But she got there right on time, and I was able to finish up my gallery assignment that only had 2 entries left, and I finally did it. For 10 cents, I bet that her first period students would be late, so I'm not sure if any were late. In Spanish, lagrimas did his presentation, and he stuttered a little bit, so I whispered "jugabamos" as he was struggling and for a verb. We then learned another lesson about Spanish preterite versus imperfect, and we all groaned because we have to do this thing all over again. He used mannerisms such as Baymax, Simba, my line segments, and I got caught off guard when the teacher asked me directly to say what one of the mannerisms were. I realized that this is way too hard, so I'll learn this on my own way. And later, he made a cow joke using menudo, and that apparently he's milking it too much, so not the soup, but it means repeatedly. Thankfully, he didn't assign homework today, but only made for one sentence. That was Manuel fue era muy simpático that he asked me. I chose era, and obviously that was correct, but I'm not sure what mannerism it was. And I said emotions instead of repetition, and I unironically got it correct. So my first answer was repetition, but it was emotions that I said next, and I got it correct somehow. And today for PE was fine, but my sunscreen ran out, so I went straight into the hot sun. I ran one lap today, and with the help of my friend. Later on, the teacher told me to invert my shirt because of dress code, and that he's been taking it light on me, that I've been wearing this for a few days. And later on, I saved a volleyball, but the other group didn't play, so I saved it for another group that I played yesterday with Isaac's group. And it was funny. We missed our volleyball serves a lot of the time, and we definitely laughed. It's fun, as I said. For science, we had a quiz today regarding weather, and the teacher assigned a web search assignment for our project, and something that I do not want to do. And for the quiz, I got an 11 out of 15. This was a partner quiz, and the friend wasn't really working as much, and I wasn't working as much either. So later on, I did get that 11 out of 15, and I took the score. And the teacher announced for websites on Notebook LM for us to share it with other people, since it doesn't allow users under 18 to edit on features. So he either said for us to use our own personal account on Notebook LM or share his email so he could do the work for us. I wanted to be lazy and do nothing this period, but I did the assignment. I shared the document and had to physically walk to the girl that was part of my group. And he used mine as an example, saying, like, this is his presentation and it doesn't have slides because of this limitation it's given. Eventually, I decided to do this preliminary assignment later since I delayed too much and I did not have too much time. For history, the teacher announced today that out of all of the 65 donated paper rolls and out of all of the stuff that we've had this year, only one is left out of all those 65 paper rolls, and he's losing a lot of supplies because all of it was donated, and he's offering a 1% grade credit boost if we turn in one supply, no more than one. And then later, we're given 10 minutes to staple everything we did for this unit, including our notes. And I already did it yesterday, so I just turned it in as is. And out of all the extra credit tickets, I used the same color ones. So the other extra credit tickets I keep as a souvenir, as a tricolor, once I leave after finals for this class. I forgot my skit rubric that I have to turn in, so I need to find that in my pile of lost papers. So later, the teacher said for this unit and our daily diaries, and that the final exam will all be on the unit regarding the modern world, and not comprehensive covering the entire year, just to make it simple. And the assignment today that he assigned us is to memorize a quick topic that he shows about us, and then we'll be paired with random people to present it very quickly for this new unit. And we're given home-based team with Levi's group, so to speak. So this is going to be a little bit simpler than it is with other people in the class. For lunch, today in the cafeteria, the lunch seats were changed into banquet seating today, so it is very different than what we'd usually see. And Dallas came by, and she told me if I voted for her. I told her that I voted for her, and that she'd give me one of her items as she eventually went to English class. And I got a cool Vote Dallas keychain upon arrival in English class later on. And this is what it looks like right here, guys. Make sure to vote Dallas, even though it's already too late to do so. If you guys want to share this video, do whatever. But this is it right here. This is always like this. I'm not sure if the camera can get that right now. But anyways, for most of lunch, I played Uno with my two friends, and it was a great table since these are banquet tables, as I said. Fun stuff. I would probably do it again if I bring my cards. And a core memory, too, since I've never done a card game inside a cafeteria. A side note, thanks Dallas, by the way. For English, I bet 10 cents, and the teacher said to me, don't interrupt me, but Jackson was clearly early today. There's no way. But I don't know who came in late. I bet to the genie, and I said to the teacher that out of one of my 3 wishes, students would be late. So I'm not sure who did come late today. And during class, Jackson and his friend tried to throw a gummy bear in the trash, but they both missed, and we all had a laugh about it. Eventually, someone had to go up and throw it into the trash themselves. And we continued on the Louder Than a Bomb documentary, learning about slam poetry. A big thing that I realized in the morning is that there's so many boys and girls around me. And I wish I could know everyone in this school, but I can't know everyone because everybody's in a different class. I may not even know about like 50% of the other people here ever. And in the documentary, I learned how the Steinmetz team lost by just zero point 0.1 points. And they showed so much emotion even as they lost, and how much it was worth to them. For the final part, we filled a school survey for diverse texts and student survey that provide instructions. What made it funny is that she said, the culture that you guys are from, guys are definitely from Lord of the Flies. Absolutely crazy boys from out of all the books we've read. And highlighting the boys' craziness in the class, so highlighting that. And essentially a culturally diverse text student survey 2026 by Marcela Marquez on YouTube. The Google form is essentially a miniature audit of what we learned, and it's going to be sent to the school district and what we think about this year and the literary things that we have learned. Some ambiguous questions were there any times your culture has been viewed negatively? Was one of the questions, which in context really depends. You might have to show a culture negatively to show its dark side. Sometimes it might actually be criticizing it. So really ambiguous was question there. I did not answer that one. And sections 1 to 3 were preliminary, asking school names and general literature that we learned. Section 4 describes us to describe a time that we learned about a new culture and if we liked it. Section 5 asked, have you read about other stories coders in other languages? I put Lord of the Flies. I put Lord of the Flies, and I definitely put Patron Saints of Nothing. For humor, I put yes on visual and performing arts because I learned about myself while editing, so that technically counts, even though that's not talking about other people. The teacher had to physically count and do roll count because the form is not in her computer roster. She had to count it herself. The class environment was chill and everybody was talking all fine as I said. Today for English to math, I passed to the restroom and I almost slipped while I was inside the restroom. And someone laughed at me when I was going inside. And when I left, I told the principal who was in one of those go-karts to directly fix the restroom. I went up to them and say, can you fix the restroom because I almost slipped inside. And they went there eventually. I'm not sure if they fixed it, but as for math, we had a triangles quiz and I finished it relatively quickly. I think the minute that I saw whatever the opposite is that the angle is being referred to, that's the opposite. And I made one crucial mistake out of all the correct calculations was not putting the degree symbol on some of the problems, I think. Unsurprisingly, today, no assignments were assigned, which is pretty rare for my math class. And later on, for this extra time remaining, I finished up that science assignment that I had to fill out earlier in the day, and it asked us to fill out 3 to 6 sources and some questions about them. And I think that I realized is that even if assignments are due later in general, I always do it now and finish, even though I still delay sometimes. And unlike English class, it was very quiet and there were occasional chats in class, and my teacher wasn't mad today, so rising. Also, guys, quick announcement that I'm going to be showing here. I'm going to be releasing a Google document. It's kind of like a self-audit if anybody's curious. That means if you guys have any complaints about these videos, or if you're just curious and want to ask me some questions, or even if you just want to vent some things, I'm going to be releasing that in my description if you guys want to see that. If anybody has any requests to remove names, for example, if anybody has any requests for this or that, or just curious about me, that Google form, I'm going to be putting this in the description. Other than that, have a great day, guys.